Hello, my name is Amira Bello, and I am the founder of Mathematician Jr. Mathematician Jr. is a company that I founded in response to me being an adult in high school and college, struggling with math and having math anxieties. And as a parent, that is the one thing I don't want my children to experience. So my whole curriculum and everything that I evolved out of Mathematician Jr. came out of me giving my children a strong foundation to math that is a little bit different from what we're used to in the United States, but nonetheless gives them a stronger foundation. Some of the things that I offer are classes, workbooks and flashcards and all of these things, and you're like, okay, that's what's different about that, so what? The classes are Abacus based, right? Children in regions of the world who are outperforming American kids on just about every grade level oftentimes use a physical tool, or what they call a manipulative, to help enhance their math understanding. That means they don't start math with certain steps. In order to subtract, you go over to the other number and you cross out and you borrow. No, these are steps and they're algorithms, and they can be beneficial to some. But most of us and most of our children learn by doing. They learn by seeing. They learn by moving. And that's what the Abacus approach does. Now, this junior counter, which is a patented device, there is a patent for this. The Abacus itself is a over 5,000 year old device, and I came along and I said, this is too complex. Let's try something simpler that has this same amount of benefit. So the Abacus uses the rods to demonstrate place value, right? So your ones, your tens, and your hundreds. And I also color coordinated it. If you go onto Amazon and you go to anybody, you're not going to find anything like this to help your 3 and 4 and 5 year old master the Abacus approach or mental math mastery. You're going to see a lot of these, and they're like $6, $7, which is great. And this is a little bit more, but there's a whole bunch of value to it. So you have your ones and your tens and your hundreds. Additionally, they're color coordinated. So you can, if your child, as they're learning their ones and their tens, you can say, well, which one are the tens? They can tell you the color. Or we're going to work all on the green rod today. What is the green? And they'll tell you that's the tens, or what do tens look like? Additionally to just one, tens, and hundreds, that's boring, right? So let's give them kind of familial labels, right? Your ones are your babies, and your tens are your parents, and your hundreds are the grandparents, and those always look bigger because they're older. Children understand those concepts. It's really important to connect the knowledge that we want, that our children know, the backdrop, their knowledge base, things that they already understand, with a new concept in math. But let's say you started with your 3-year-olds like I did. I started when my girls were 3, and I wish that the junior counter was available, because my 3-year-old, I'm not really keen on, they don't need to know 1, 10s, hundreds immediately. But how about first, let's just master the ones. So this particular unit, and it has a back, I just don't feel like reaching for it, but I guess I will. I'm on a wobbly stool. So let's just say we're going to start here with our ones, right? And the unit comes all together. It's 3 pieces. You're not going to find anything like this on the market. As I said, it's a patent pending product. And I'm going to start my child having them understand what the parts of the junior counter are. What are the parts? Like, why are the parts important? Because with anything, any tool, any toy, any device, you just have to know the parts. So if you go to any other Abacus class, they're going to say the upper bead or the heavenly bead, which is fine. It's very formal. It's brilliant, right? And then you have the earthly beads or the lower beads, which is fine too. But my 3-year-old is not interested in the heavenly bead or the earthly beads. My 3-year-old can point to their head, so they'll know that this bead is the head, and they'll eventually learn that the head is worth 5. So every time my head touches the neck, aka answer rod, then I know that my junior counter is positioned in 5. But if I take my head away, I know that it's back to 0 because my head's not touching my leg. But what if I moved up 4 legs? Legs, get it? Lower beads. Every child has a leg. So they know that, oh, I have 4 legs. My junior counter is special because it has 4 legs. But you know what? What if I take 4 legs away. How many legs do I have left? 2 legs. Now, they know that by looking at the place value. This is where we come to visualization. Using a physical tool to help children understand concrete and objective concepts is a win. Any tool that your child connects to and you add some value and purpose to it, it's a win. But after your child masters 0 through 9, and once they master 0 through 9, I'm talking about they're able to identify the position. Oh, this is the head. Oh, it's 5. Oh, 5 and 2 legs. That's 7, right? Then they become able to do the same thing when it's on the tens rod. So instead of saying, oh, that's 5, they'll say, oh, that's 5 tens or 50. Now let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about what we do to numbers in our language. In English, we say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's what we know, that's what we understand. And as adults, we completely understand 13, 14, 15. Right. But when you're 2 and 3, what does 13 mean? In other languages, particularly in regions where they're outperforming us in math, they don't say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They say 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 10, 1, 10, 2, 10, 3. What does 10, 1, 10, 2, 10, 3 mean? That means a 10 and a 1, that's 11. Logical. What does 10, 2 mean? Oh, a 10 and a 2, logical. When you look at the junior counter, it's the same way. Well, I have my 10 bead, my 10 bead and 2. Oh, 10, 2, that's 12. So I teach children to count wrong, but counting wrong in English is counting logically. So I was talking about the tens rod. So when your child has an understanding of all the units, right? What 9 looks like, if you take 2 away from 9, what that means, all the friends that come together to make 5 whole, then let's move to the tens, right? So now let's understand we're moving to the tens. Now we have 2 digits to compute, and this becomes fun because now instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 4, we're going to say 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens. They know that this is already the 4 position on the 1s rod, so now they understand it to be the 10 position on the 10 rod. So if you say, well, take 2 tens away, they take 2 tens away. How many legs do we have on the 10s rod? 2 legs on the 10s rod. What is that? That's 20. Your child is instantly and automatically computing because they have a physical tool, i.e. a manipulative, a physical visual understanding of what numbers are. Okay? Once they finish, you take your units rod and you take your rods that cover tens and you put them together, and now they're talking about hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 500, 700, 900, 99. Imagine that. This is very possible at 3. Way more possible than if they were doing it the algorithmic way. So unless you have exposure or family or connectivity to cultures outside of ours and the way that they introduce math, then this wouldn't even be a concept that you would think about. It would be totally unfamiliar. But trust me, trust my process. Not only am I a homeschooling mom, I'm a certified teacher. And not only am I a certified teacher, I've been to Japan. I've seen it. I work with them, right? And not only am I a certified teacher, I'm a certified Abacus trainer, right? So I'm all those things wrapped up into me and wrapped up into the understanding that math has to be fun, math has to be emotional, math has to connect, math has to be this thing that involves mystery and engagement for children. So trust my curriculum. Go to www.mathjr.org. Check out my products. Check out the course offerings. Check out the class times. I offer a lot of free kind of classes because this is unfamiliar. I get it. So check out some of my free stuff. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your time.